Hello, I'm Tessa Rickard, your gut health nutritionist. I had some amazing feedback from my video last week, so I decided to pop back into your feed or your inbox with some more goodness on optimizing meals because I had a couple of questions as well. If you haven't seen my last video, pause this. Go back to the video prior where I cover how to assemble a healthy meal that is easy to digest, provides you with ample nutrition, and will assist rather than hinder your goal of creating gorgeous guts. The last step of healthy meal assembly was to optimize the meal by adding garnishes, seasoning, herbs, and spices that boost nutrient density and add some more gut healing power to your meal that will, of course, also make it taste better. A good place to start is with herbs and spices. Did you know that generally they pack the biggest punch when it comes to antioxidant activity? They are so rich in polyphenols and they are so important for gut health. Cloves actually contain the highest antioxidant activity according to the ORAC score, which stands for Oxygen Radical Absorbance Capacity. So experiment with your spices. Sprinkle them into meals while you're cooking, and at the end, add cinnamon to everything. When you're seasoning meat, add spices along with salt and pepper as well, and really have a play with the kinds of flavors and delicious meals you can create. Herbs, these are probably my favorite. Have you got a little herb garden growing at home? I hope so. We do. We love it. I love going out into the garden and collecting some herbs as I'm waiting for dinner to cook to serve on top of the meal as a garnish to add a bit more flavor and nutrients. They are little powerhouses of nutrition. And there is no meal that isn't improved with herbs. I even had lemon and basil sorbet last week and it was to die for. So sprinkle them fresh over everything. Especially coriander. Sorry, yes, I'm one of those people. I adore coriander. Use them dried in roasting trays as well. There's a really quick way of creating a delicious Mediterranean-style meal is just doing a one-tray bake of beautiful veggies, some good quality meat, and using lots of beautiful herbs like oregano, for example. Nuts and seeds, these are a good one. So I like to toast nuts and seeds and sprinkle them onto everything, sweet or savory. Think toasted pistachios or hazelnuts on dessert, golden almond slithers on fish and chicken, crushed peanuts on salads and curries. When toasting, you can also add a little bit of olive oil and some turmeric or other spices to seeds like sunflower and pepita seeds, and they make for an amazing crunchy salad topper. Hemp seeds are also great because you can just grab them straight out of the fridge and sprinkle them on. They're great for sweet or savory dishes as well. And of course, they can be added raw for just a nice bit of texture too. Plus, they're super nutrient rich. Seaweed, probably hadn't thought of that one. So super rich in minerals and really flavorsome. So you can sprinkle seaweed onto a lot of different savory dishes, just a tiny bit or a lot, depends how much you like it. Your good gut microbes love seaweed. So I always have wakame, dulse, and even some nori on hand. I have this amazing sushi bowl recipe I'll have to share soon, but if you sprinkle some crushed up nori on top, it's delicious. Salt, also very mineral rich, also comes from the ocean generally and makes everything taste amazing. Just a small pinch of high quality salt, I prefer Celtic sea salt, is a really healthy addition to a meal as long as you're using it in moderation. Bone broth, another one I add to everything. I add it to marinades, to salad dressings, in all soups and stews, pretty much most savory dishes. If I'm going to make some little like chicken schnitzels or something, I will put a teaspoon of bone broth in with the egg or the milk and whisk that up and then coat it in that because it tastes delicious and it's also adding more gut healing benefits to your meal. Fermented foods are another one. So if you can tolerate histamines, then a teaspoon to a tablespoon of sauerkraut or kimchi or whatever you like as a side dish or even mixed into a side salad or anything creates that lovely sharp flavor. And of course, it boosts the gut-loving probiotic foods in your meal as well. Even yogurt. I use yogurt a lot on savory dishes. It's delicious with a squeeze of lemon juice and some salt and pepper and some herbs. It makes a really nice sauce to go on top of fish or chicken. So-called superfood powders is next on my list. So I don't use them a lot because they're often about $4,000 a kilo. And I think all whole foods are super. But if it's within your budget and something that you can easily get into your kids, for example, then it's totally fine to include things like baobab powder, greens and vegetable powders, spirulina, kakadu plum, camu camu, acai, etc. They're a great addition to smoothies and drinks too. Condiments. I bet you didn't expect me to mention condiments because we normally associate them with junk food and unhealthy food, but I love my condiments. Most meals I will have a little bit of something on the side. We want to add that moisture and flavor. We want to enjoy our meal. Pesto. Need I say any more? I am mad about pesto. You know, you can add it to so many things. Guacamole is another great one. Tahini, you know, super rich in calcium and amazing flavor to add to a lot of dishes. Nut butters as well. Things like mustard and homemade dips like hummus, all fantastic things on meals. I use the Gevity bone broth sauces on pretty much all my meals as well. I'm sure you would have seen them in my stories. In the past, I used the barbecue sauce and their different mayonnaises as well. They're delicious. Even things like lemon, lime, and orange zest, and vinegars and healthy oils like avocado and olive oil, they're all going to add a lot of flavor and boost nutrients and plant varieties in your food. I like to add a bit of grass-fed butter and ghee to some steamed veggies as well. They will boost the fat-soluble nutrients to your meal, but they need to be high quality, or there probably won't be too many nutrients in there. There are so many options, and I do feel like I have just completely bombarded you with lists, and I'm sorry. But I have spoken about this before, but for a healthy microbiome, you should be aiming for 40-plus plant food varieties every week. And it becomes really easy to create that variety in your diet when you start adding all of these kinds of things to your meals, because it's not actually about the quantity, it's about the variety. So this week, I'm going to add a little list of staples that I always like to have on hand just for this purpose of boosting the nutrients in my meals for myself and my family. So if you're in my mailing list, you'll be receiving that. And I'm very excited. Next week is IBS month, so I'm getting ready to launch a couple of exciting things, and I'll also be running a competition, so stay tuned. Let me know if you enjoyed this video. Tag me or email me. I love getting feedback. I put these videos out into the world, and sometimes, you know, you just don't know what people think or if they're enjoying it. So please get in touch if you are enjoying them, or if there's questions you have or something that you want to hear more about. That would be super helpful. And I'll see you next fortnight, and we're going to welcome in IBS Awareness Month. See ya.